Anyway, it's Chris over at Dixieland Farm, and I'm going to be upfront with you. It has been over a year since I've listened to a vinyl record. That doesn't mean I haven't been listening to music or records that were on vinyl, but I digitized. I listen to music all the time, but I have not actually spun a record in my record room, my record player. It's really my living room. In more than a year. It's been, I think, almost 15 months. 15 months. Wow. What's the reason, Chris? I've just been on my flight simulator and doing other things, and I just haven't had time to sit down and do nothing else. That's the real reason. The farm, just been busy. Making videos, programming things, all that stuff. But that doesn't mean that you can't talk about vinyl records. All of you who don't make videos until you buy something, you are missing out. You should be making videos when you want. And you should be making videos about things that maybe a lot of people already know about. Just talk about your vinyl record collection. That is why we subscribe to you. That is why we watch you. And the whole idea that you need to get something rare, esoteric, bizarre is silly. So we're going to be talking about two bands today, and they are tied together for me. That's Procol Harum and Jethro Tull. The reason why they're tied together is I saw them live in concert in the 90s. My friend from college, when we were in college, his name David Shackney, he was a recording engineer, and he that's what he wanted to do. We didn't have that as a major, but he was a film minor and a broadcasting major. But he did work part-time at a recording studio. He recorded Celine Dion, Taylor Dane, a whole bunch of people. Matter of fact, he's the one that hooked me up with Dee Snider. Dee Snider was writing a movie at the time, and he needed a computer geek to talk about things, whether things were possible. And he called me up one day, and I was talking to Dee Snider about chat rooms, which were not a thing that most people knew about at the time, of course. Now everyone knows these things. But yeah, that was pretty weird. And I've actually never seen the movie, Strangeland. I am thanked in the credits, Chris B, I think, because nobody could spell Brzezinski, which makes sense. I think that is also how I'm credited in the Nick Zed's movie, Why Do You Exist, which was also Film Test 95, which my friend Tom hooked up with Nick Zed because we had leftover film. And he's like, hey, I got this leftover film. Do you want to make a movie? And Nick Zed said, yeah, let's go make a movie. And I was a cameraman for one day. So I think on those credits, I'm also just known as Chris B on the Nick Zed movie. And Nick Zed, the Zed's Dead Baby is a reference to Nick Zed. Anyway, the concert. So my friend was recording and he said, I will be there. Just wait for me outside. And this was before the internet. We were seeing Procol Harum and Jethro Tull at Jones Beach. He was the Jethro Tull guy. I was the Procol Harum guy. And this is, of course, before the internet, before cell phones. So I had a paper printout ticket, I think, or was on call probably. I had to go and pick it up at the booth. And I had to wait for him. And he was late. And I was upset because I could hear Procol Harum playing. I missed Procol Harum playing. I don't know what songs I missed. It's been way too long. But I was pissed at my friend who got to see Jethro Tull in his entirety. Very annoying. Procol Harum was great. Jethro Tull was also great. Jethro Tull's stage at the time looked like an old flat. It had wash hanging up. I mean, it was quite the thing. Let's go over Procol Harum albums that I own. All of these I've bought for a couple of dollars each, and one was VCLT. So yeah, no particular order. The one to get is definitely Shine On Brightly. Nice gatefold. And Shine On Brightly's on this. In Hell 'Twas I. Yeah. I don't know if Robert Trower is playing on this. So, I don't like Bridge of Sighs. I'm the only guy who doesn't like Bridge of Sighs. I don't find guitar wankery something I want to listen to. But in the context of this, Robert Trower is fantastic. $2 at Earshot. Broken Barricades with the die cut. I think somebody showed this recently. Oh, I forgot who. Was it Randy? Randall Weaver? Oh, look at those eyes. Those eyes creeping me out on that thing. So yeah, we got Robert Trower playing also. Apparently I never cleaned this, never played it. Though I know the song Power Failure and Broken Barricades. And Simple Sister. So this stuff is harder rock than maybe what you know Procol Harum. Because you know Procol Harum for Wider Shade of Pale and maybe a Salty Dog. But no, it got heavier rock as it went on. I got a best of Procol Harum. The cool silver, I think that proves that it's a first press on A&M here. Got this from Papa Jazz apparently for $1. And I got this just to fill in stuff, I guess because I wanted Hamburg, which is a great song. Maybe Whiskey Train. Again, great. $1 for one of the greatest live albums ever. Procol Harum with the Edmonton Symphony Orchestra, Edmonton, Canada. And I remember buying this at a record show. I have I'm not going to get up, a Mobile Fidelity gold CD of this. And this sounds fantastic. The orchestra is incredible. The music is incredible. The songs are a great overview of Procol Harum. So if you're ever going to get a Procol Harum album, pick this one up. And again, you can find all these albums fairly cheap. It's got a slight texture, so maybe an original. This was VCLT from, I believe, Matt Sands. And let's see, on Durham. It's Durham. It's Durham, not Durham. Durham. Actually, mine's owned by Brian Catliff. Brian Catliff. I call him Catlip, and then he'd be mad at me. But you know, I'm kind of a douchebag that way. So, it's got Conquistador on this, but I know the Conquistador from the live. Procol Harum, A Salty Dog. This is the Shine On Brightly and A Salty Dog and the live album are the ones to definitely get. Salty Dog is fantastic. I was just listening to this, the A&M Classics Greatest Hit CD on my MP3 player. Definitely a lot of semen on this album. You know, you can see Salty Dog and Wreck of the Hesperus. So if you like seafaring tales, or if you're a fan of semen in general, Salty Dog. And a 99-cent bootleg, the elusive Procol Harum. Recorded where? Don't know. Recorded when? Don't know. Does it sound good? No, it does not. It sounds terrible, but it's $1. That is a Procol Harum collection. Let's move on to Jethro Tull, Jethro Tull, the only band who makes the flute rock. Great guitar work. So, like Fairport Convention, they've got that traditional folk Celtic influences, but they do more rock. Jethro Tull, too rock and roll, too old to rock and roll, too young to die. I hate this album. What does this have on it that's good, other than that song? I don't know. People will probably tell me I'm wrong, but I don't know, I just don't like it. But the album is cool enough to keep just for the comic book thing, and I'm sure I paid $1 for it. Hey, Aqualung! So, who would think they'd have a top 10 hit about some guy molesting kids and having snot run down his nose? Cross-Eyed Mary, of course, is also the other big song on this. Locomotive Breath. These are all songs that you would know if you had a van in the 70s. Heavy Horses is, I think, their last best album. It's a good album. There's not really much more I can say about it. It's a good album. I had this on 8-track. I remember that. Here is Stand Up. Does this actually? No, it doesn't. So the original has like like a pop-up book thing. So when you open it, it stands up. This was $3, bought at a record show, Friends of the Library. That's where Wes gets his stuff, right? So I have a dealer that would show up at record shows. He would go down to Florida, go to the Friends of the Library sale. I'm sure he went to the 25-cent day, bought all this junk, and then would sell it. So Jeffrey goes to Leicester Square. Leicester. Forget it. Forget it. I really don't know much about this album. This is more of their blues. You know, they started out as blues before they went more folk, rock folk. I shouldn't say folk, but I don't know much about that album. I know that my copy of Songs from the Wood is jacked up, but you don't play the covers. I don't know if you've ever heard that expression in the BC. But Songs from the Wood is a good album, and if I recall, this does sound more folky. And look, it's like a record player, but it's wood. You can't play that, you silly, silly guy. I mention it every time. She's flashing her underwear on Thick as a Brick. This is the Thick as a Brick, as you know, with the full newspaper. The newspaper took longer to make than the actual album. I believe that's true. And it's one long song on two different sides. The concept is that little Milton wrote a poem, and you're listening to the poem called Thick as a Brick. This is by far my favorite album from them, and I think their greatest work. People would probably say Aqualung, they're wrong. People might say Minstrel in the Galaxy, Gallery. They would be correct, though I prefer this over that album. Or Passion Play is also another wise choice for best Tull album, but this is the one that I listen to the most and I think is the best. So this was also done kind of tongue-in-cheek. Everyone kept calling Aqualung a concept album, which it wasn't, so Ian Anderson's like, fine, I'll give you a concept album. And then came out with this, with the nonsense about the poem and the whole newspaper thing that they had fun with. And one long song. Always appreciate bands who say F you to their fans and critics. Busting Out, right? This is what is this, 78? It is. It's a live album. Is it a, yeah, I guess it's a best of live album. It's a good live album from what I remember. Assuming you can deal with a guy in a bucket hat. I can. I can overlook that. Anything cool inside that I can see? Yeah, it's cool. Inners. Great. Yeah, I may have paid $2 or $3 for this. Bought for $2 before you could get this on CD. That's why I have it on vinyl. Minstrel in the Gallery is also a fantastic album. Definitely more folk, but it has the hard rock passages too. Living in the Past, bought for $2. This is their early work, a lot of their blues stuff, but some other things. Comes with this. I don't want to have it rip, but this huge. It's already coming apart. Huge big book. It's hard cardboard. I think this is also like 45s and things like that. For their early stuff, this is all I believe you need. Passion Play. I think a song about descending into hell. I don't know. It's kind of a crazy story, and then gets interrupted. It comes with a little playbill in the middle, that's fun. The song is interrupted by a hare who lost his spectacles. That's the second time I've messed up titles. Which they had to insert in the middle of the song of Passion Play because the song was too long, and to split up over a record, they jumped that in the middle, so that way you listen to that, you flip the record over, you listen to the they still interrupt the song A Hare Lost a Spectacle, which is really, it's play within a play, which of course is kind of Shakespearean in the whole idea of a passion play, right? Yeah, okay. Benefit, a live concert from the earlier days, 1970. I think everyone's seen this. I can't tell you whether this is essential or not. It's okay, from what I remember. That is my whole collection. Jethro Tull, Procol Harum, why they're tied together, and how much I paid for all of these, which is not much, and 15 minutes. I fooled you into watching a VC video where I had nothing planned, and I just rambled and showed stuff. Say hello to me in the comments to prove that you watched it to the end. You should say hello in the comments anyway, because that's a nice thing to do. When you're a member of a community, you say hello to people. You don't thumbs up. You don't like or love a comment, and then that's it. As if that's enough. You had enough time to put up the video. You have enough time to respond to comments and talk to each other in a community. Talk to each other in a community. Make a video about stuff you've already got. Don't worry about showing weird things. Don't worry about showing stuff that you only bought. Get involved. Get aggressive. Take care, everybody. Bye.